Hi everyone, welcome. So the previous video we have discussed value added method to measure national income. In today's video we are going to again understand one more method, that is income method to measure national income, right? So in income method we have three main components to arrive at NDP at factor cost. इसका मतलब हुआ कि हमें तीन वैल्यूज चाहिए, दैट इज कंपनसेशन ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज, ऑपरेटिंग सरप्लस एंड मिक्स्ड इनकम ऑफ सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड. If we have got these three values, okay, three values, or say three components basically, so on adding these three components we get NDP at factor cost. So we are going to study in details what are the sub components of compensation of employees, operating surplus and mixed income of self-employed, right? So first, what do you mean by compensation of employees? See, employees are the hired laborers in a company or a corporate. Now whenever they work, they get the income, or you can say a remuneration for their work, right? So whenever they get their remuneration, that remuneration is not only in terms of the pay, that is the basic pay. There are other income sources or other components of their compensation, that is basic pay, house rent allowances, traveling allowances, medical facilities, employer contributing to their insurance premiums and all. So in total we can see wages and salaries is undoubtedly the main component of compensation of employees, under which we can classify wages and salaries in kind. Now, as I mentioned, for example, traveling allowances, okay, maybe medical facility, house rent allowances, all these come under wages and salaries in kind. Wages and salaries in cash, that means it includes basic pay, bonus, etc. All these comes under wages and salaries in cash. Whereas in kind, as I mentioned, maybe traveling allowances, house rent allowances, subsidized food, etc. All these come under kind. Whereas employer's contribution to social security scheme, this is contribution by employer in the form of premium paid by the employer for employees, or it can be a provident fund. So whenever there is a deposits in provident fund, or you can say a premium paid by employer, all this comes under SSS. In fact, retirement pension is also one of the examples of employers' contribution to SSS. So all this comes under employers' contribution to SSS. So when we add item 1 and 2, that is wages, salaries and employers' contribution to SSS, what we get is compensation of employees. The next component is operating surplus. Now operating surplus is also known as income from property and entrepreneurship, right? So under operating surplus, we have income in the form of rent and royalty for the fixed assets, interest on capital, and profit. Obviously, entrepreneurs' remuneration is profit. So rent is a remuneration for land, interest for capital, and profits for entrepreneur or entrepreneur and enterprise or his services. So profit itself is made up of three components, or you can classify profits as dividend, corporate tax and corporate savings. So these are the three components of profit. Lastly, we have mixed income of self-employed, under which there are no sub-components as such. Mixed income of self-employed out here represents in case a person is the owner of two or more factors. ऐसा हो सकता है कि एक ही person, for example, एक chartered accountant है, right? उस चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट का खुद का एक चैम्बर है, उस चैम्बर में वही entrepreneur भी है, he is the owner, he is the owner of that particular chamber, means he is a landowner. It is very much possible that he has not hired anyone else. In fact, he is the only labor out there. So we can say that he is a owner of more than one factor. So whenever he receives any income as his fees, this fees includes more than one factor income. So total, for example, he receives 1,000 rupees for his services. Those 1,000 rupees includes as a entrepreneurial income, as a labor income, maybe as a landowner income. So whenever the income he receives, if it is in a mixed form, then it is known as mixed income of self-employed. So on adding all these components, that is compensation of employees, operating surplus and mixed income, we arrive to NDP at factor cost. Remember, add compensation of employees, operating surplus and mixed income of self-employed, we get NDP at factor cost. Now to get national income, what we will be doing is NNP at factor cost is equals to NDP at factor cost plus NFIA. So we have this as national income. Okay. So national income is NDP at factor cost plus NFIA. Is it fine? You need to practice few sums on this. Okay. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.